Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? My grandmother would sing sweet melodies to me when I was a young child, and she would tell me stories about my ancestors, who I was, and where I come from. She would say, Yaya, you don't know who you are. You don't really know who you are. I would smile at my grandmother, and with the subtle innocence of a young child, I would proudly say, Yes, Ma, I know. Tell me. Tell me what you know, child. Go on and tell me. Tell me the story. Okay, Pa was a sharecropper, and he bought land in the sugar grove, and he owned crops too. And he was the first black man with his own car. Ain't that right, Mama? Isn't that right, she would say. And I would smile because I was so proud of what I knew. Go on. Pa, he owned a store too, right, Mama? He sold shoes and clothes, and he had a house too, a big house, the biggest house on the street. And she would sit there with her eyes closed, listening to me as I told that story over the years of all of our hardships and fears. The buses, the back of them, cotton, picking it right, and signs that read for colored and for white, and the marches, and the dogs, and the laws after laws after laws, segregated balconies and streets, and history that repeat. Then one day, she said to me, You're wrong. You are wrong. What do you mean I'm wrong? Mama, you let me tell this story to my children all of these years, and you mean to tell me I'm wrong? You are wrong. And she hung her head low and sat there silent. So let me get this straight. I am not a Robertson. You are. Pa never owned a store? He did. Then what are you saying, Mama? She looked up, and her eyes were as white as the clouds in the sky. And she said to me, You don't know, Yaya, do you? You don't really know who you are. And I didn't respond because I thought I knew what I knew, but I didn't. I didn't know anything.
Do you know the story of creation, Yaya? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty. Darkness moved on the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the waters. Then God said, Let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. He separated the light from the darkness. The light he called day, and the darkness he called night. And it was so. Then our Creator God created us in his own image. Male and female, he created us. You and me. He created us. Let us rejoice in creation.
And it was so. The story of creation. She told me that story a long time ago, and I never could understand why she was so obsessed with it. I remember this boy who was in my Sunday school class, and he would cover his ears every time he heard that story because he said he heard it all the time and he was tired of it. Robert Daniel, that's his name. And we went to school together too. And he was in a band, and he would turn his hand to sports and such. And then he got married and had 2 kids. I don't remember the names though. He was walking home from a baseball game one night, and he encountered a cop with a flashlight, with a taser, with a gun. And they said he tried to run. It was tragic indeed. Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? My grandmother remembered him too. They killed that man because he was black, she said. She said the same thing about Earl Jones, Bobby Ford, and Robert Johnson. The same thing happened to them when she was a child, some 60 years ago. Why?
Do you not know? Oh, you are a holy people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God created you to be a special people to himself. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more than any other people, for you were the least. He chose you because he loved you. And he would keep the oath that he promised to your fathers. Now, Israel, listen to the decrees and laws I teach you. Follow these laws, and you will be blessed. Follow these commandments that you may live and take possession of the land of the Lord, the God of your ancestors, is giving to you.
The promised land. She spoke of it all the time, so much so that I would see these images in my dreams. I often dreamed of this land of freedom, and I would see myself dancing around this giant baobab tree, and there were children everywhere, and the children were running around freely with no worry in the world. The land of Canaan. Yes, Africa. And slowly I looked up at Mom, and I began to see creation, the story of Abraham. Then the Lord said to him, "Know for certain that for 400 years your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and they will be enslaved and mistreated there. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, and afterward they will come out with great possessions. In the 4th generation, your descendants will come home. Home. They will come home." Home, where a black man was headed, but went to sleep because he was trying to get something to eat, and he never woke again. Home, where a woman was asleep and was awakened by white sheets killing her, and she was never to wake again. They are now in the promised land.
Do you know what happened to you Well, let me tell you the truth. A prophecy. Our God already told our ancestors what would happen to them if they did not obey the voice of the Lord or listen to his laws, his commandments. And it will come to pass that if you do not obey the voice of the Lord, curses will come upon you and overtake you. Your sons and daughters will be sold to another people, and you will look and you will long to see them all the day long. You will bear sons and daughters, but you will not enjoy them. They will be sold into captivity. Then our Creator will bring a nation from another land far off, as swift as the eagle flies. Oh, my, yeah. Then he will bring us again to Egypt in ships, and you will be sold to your enemies. That's what happened, Yahya. Those are the words of the Lord.
Sold, captivity, slavery, mistreated in Egypt, Brazil, Cuba, and Virginia, and the list goes on and on. And in America, it never stops. The circle of evil stealing God's very own children. Israelites on American soil. Modern day slavery in new form. Nothing has changed, only the gods rearranged, that's all. In order to kill, killing our very firstborn sons, just like Moses. But what about the laws? What laws? Those don't apply to us, right? Right. Have you ever watched a man die? Have you ever watched a man have his life stolen from him right in front of your very own eyes with a knee? Me? I have. Have you ever seen that? And then I began to remember creation, the story of Abraham, the story of Moses, the Israelites, the parting of the Red Sea, breaking God's covenant, and then again in captivity. So you mean to tell me that? Oh, now I understand. She smiled at me. Yes, that is why. That is the answer to your question, Yahya. This is why they hate you.
But the story is not all bad. In their exile, they will come to themselves and remember that I am the Lord their God. I will give them a heart to obey and ears to hear. They will remember my name and they will praise me in their exile. They will turn from their stubbornness and their wicked ways. Then I will bring them up out of exile into the land that I promised their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they will be my people. And I will never again remove my people Israel from the land I have given them.